When you talk about NBA GOATs, you talk about one man.
I'm stuck. Oh, too far!
Chris Smoove was him, but luckily for the NBA, he wasn't real. The top 10 basketball players of all time. No gimmicks, no jokes, just facts. But before we get into it, we've been trying to hit 1,000 subs, and you're ruining it.
Look at my lips, you're ruining it.
Turn that button red right now. So number 10, we have Wardell Stephen Curry II, the greatest shooter of all time. Probably the greatest warrior of all time. When I'm doing my top 10, I like to take into account both individual and team accolades. And Steph Curry's got like a mixture of both. He's got 4 championships. In one of them, he was finals MVP. In the other 2, obviously KD was, and Andre Iguodala in one where he probably should have got it. Not you, Draymond. But you know, yeah, context is important because he probably should have got that first one. He's still a 2-time MVP, one of them being the only ever unanimous MVP in NBA history. Numerous All-Star appearances. One thing with All-Star appearances is when you're an elite player, top 10 all time, All-Star appearances don't really mean much because it's just really how long your career went on for. Like someone like Kareem will have more All-Star appearances to someone like Bill Russell, because Bill Russell had a much shorter career, if you know what I mean. But what is my favourite Stephen Curry moment of all time? Everyone's going to say the double bang 3 in overtime against the OKC. But for me, 2022 All-Star game. Wow. He exploded for 50 points and made 16 threes. 16. And some of them turnaround jumpers were some of the greatest things I've ever seen. One where he looked Trae Young in the face after he hit the 3. Amazing. Number 8 and number 9 are the age-old question. People debate it all the time. People have been debating it since the 2000s. Shaq or Kobe? Shaq versus Kobe. Who is better? Who would you rather have, Shaq or Kobe? And at number 9 in my list being I have Shaquille O'Neal. Big Diesel, the most dominant basketball player of all time. It sounds like I'm doing a WWE introduction. Weighing in at 700 pounds, the most dominant superstar, Shaq Diesel. But he's a 4-time champ, 3-time finals MVP, 3-peated obviously with Kobe Bryant, and he's dominant. He's as dominant as it gets. There's no one that can come close to him in terms of dominance. He probably should have won more MVPs. He only has 1, but that's why I say context once again matters, because he's one of the best big men of all time and he deserves to be number 9 on this list. And the other person of the dynamic duo, Kobe Bean Bryant. If it was a list of my favourite players, Kobe Bryant would be top 3. There's a relentless drive in him, the Mamba mentality, the ability to just overcome anything. It's something that not many other basketball players have, in today's age especially. But a great mid-range shooter, a great 3-point scorer, a great inside. He's a great 3-level scorer, a great defender as well. One of the greatest of all time, 1-time MVP, should be more. 5-time champion, could have had more if Shaq stayed. My favourite Kobe moment would probably be his last game. To explode for 60 points at age 37 on some bum knees on a comeback to beat the Jazz, outscore the Jazz in the 4th quarter. I don't think anybody else in NBA history could score 60 points in their last game at age 37 on some bad knees. And Kobe Bryant can. There can be no greater. 20-year career, longer than Mamba. Number 7, Wilt Chamberlain. This one's a bit iffy. I can understand if Wilt Chamberlain drops for people. I can understand if Wilt Chamberlain rises for. But if you look at the statistics, the broad numbers, not even the broad numbers, the standard numbers, Wilt Chamberlain is amazing. He scored 100 points in a game. He averaged above 30 points nearly every season of his career. When he decided to be an assister, he was a great assister. He's 7'1". Apparently he had a 48-inch vert. I don't believe that. But yeah, you see what I'm saying? And you have to take into account that 100 points he scored without threes. It wasn't a 3-point scoring league. There wasn't even a 3-point line. And he's got 2 championships, 5 MVPs, I think. Let me check. 4 MVPs, 1 finals MVP, obviously with that great 76ers team, and then with that great Lakers team. 5 and 6 have to be together. I'm not even gonna make one 5 and make one 6, but they're a tandem. We don't often see rivalries in the NBA like Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. We don't often see friendships in the NBA like Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. You know what? I'm gonna make a video about Magic. You know, I'm actually gonna write it down now as well. Magic and Bird video. There's nothing like it in the NBA. We've never seen it. We saw a brief rivalry between Steph Curry and LeBron James, very brief, and it wasn't the same. It didn't span across 8 different championships. It didn't span across 6 MVPs. The level of NBA brought by Magic Johnson and Larry Bird saved the NBA, and they were going back and forth championships. They were fighting tooth and nail. For me, I have to have Magic Johnson and Larry Bird on the same pedestal, and so they're both number 5 and 6 together. Number 4 we're at now. Number 4, once again, do it like Clay. We have Bill Russell. When you talk about winners in sport, I can't name you a bigger winner than Bill Russell. To be a winner means being on top of your game for an entire season to win a championship. And Bill Russell isn't just a winner. He's the most winningest player of all time. 11 rings in 13 seasons. His NBA career is 13 seasons and he won 11 rings. Of course, context matters, and he had Hall of Fame teammates on each of those teams, but he was the best player on those teams. If there was a finals MVP, he would have won so many finals MVPs. He's probably the best defender of all time. If there was all defensive teams, he would have been on so many all defensive teams. There was only one all defensive team, and that was his final NBA season, and obviously he was first team all defense. There's a league-wide retirement next season for the number 6. Bill Russell changed the NBA and changed the way we looked at winning from perspective in sport. The most winningest player of all time, the greatest winner of all time, the legend Bill Russell. Now we're in our top 3. Finally, we've got a top 3 where everybody's alive, so I can talk my ish. So I want all the smoke for these top 3. Come for me. At number 3, there's not many 7-footers in the NBA that have a long career. There's not many that can have a decently length career. I mean, even Wilt Chamberlain only had a 15-year career, which is still pretty lengthy, but not a long career by any stretch of the imagination. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar played for 21 seasons, 20 years, and he spent 3 years in college before that, where he won NC championships every single year. Most outstanding player every single year. And then he just came and he took over the league. 6 championships, 6 MVPs, second most points of all time. Every single accolade under the sun was evolved somehow. And to have one move, the skyhook, that one move that managed to dominate the entire league for generations, I can't even do the skyhook. So you can't put a limit on the greatness of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Number 2, this one here is going to be controversial because whatever I say, people hate me. Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Michael Jordan, LeBron James. At number 2, I have LeBron James. LeBron Raymond James, one of the greatest players of all time, obviously. In my opinion, the second greatest of all time. I don't think he's human. He's a machine. He's been playing in the league for 20 seasons and he's still all NBA. Every single season except his rookie year, he's been all NBA, all-star. That's crazy. That's messed up. That's fucked. 4-time champion, 4-time finals MVP, 4-time MVP, 444. Isn't that like angel numbers? 444. You're an angel, LeBron James. Maybe that's what you are. He's won everywhere he's gone, from LA to Cleveland to Miami. He's won every single place he's gone. And he's been the best player in every single team he's gone. The same can't be said for every single player on this list. LeBron James has always been the best player on his teams. My favourite LeBron James moment. If we're talking game, it's probably the game against Detroit, where he wasn't even having a great game. And then he exploded to score 29 of the last 30 points, especially going into overtime to win that game. A playoff game as well for the Cleveland Cavaliers. But if we're talking moments, look away now, Jason Terry.
Wade from behind takes it away. Chalmers, Paul, James! Whoa!
Number 1. Michael Jeffrey Jordan. I know I've done a documentary on LeBron, but I've got a documentary for Michael Jordan coming soon, probably in August, because I'm getting a new PC coming, then the MJ doc drops, and then everyone loves me. An unstoppable player. He's literally all NBA in his first season. Then he had a catastrophic injury in his second season and still managed to come back and be one of the greatest of all time. 6-time champion, 6 finals MVPs, 6 MVPs, 2 3-peats, retired in between, came back, won a 3-peat. The highest points average of all time. He should have at least 7 MVPs. 2 of them were probably one was given to Karl Malone, he didn't deserve it. Maybe Charles Barkley shouldn't even have got his. He was the best player in the league every single season, but there was a lot of voter fatigue. DPOY and MVP in the same season. Only other players that have done that are Giannis Antetokounmpo and Hakeem Olajuwon. And from a player who's only about 6'6", that's incredible. And to have that highest points average, especially with Wilt Chamberlain existing, that's crazy, that's nuts in the head. But everything else I have to say will be in that documentary. It will be long, it's going to take me incredibly long to edit, so make sure you tune in for that. But that is my list right now, and you know, everything I say is right. Steph Curry will probably go up by the end of his career, but we will see. I'm not going to say anything right now. I'll see you man in a bit. Boom.